Hey, it's Josh. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to do a 50-hour review on the Solis H24. So if you're new to the channel, welcome, and if you are a longtime subscriber, welcome back. From this video, I really have a couple objectives. One is if you're in the market looking for a compact tractor, that you get some education on the Solis H24 that might help shape the decision on whether you would like this tractor or not. If you are an existing subscriber and or not, and you're just interested in what's in the market today, a little bit of background on the Indian tractors coming from International Tractors Limited, and just the overall kind of quality and perception of these tractors. The Solis tractors are sold in over 140 countries under the brand Solis, and in the U.S. It's Solis Tractors USA is how they're doing business. So this business has been around for a very long time, and they're new to the U.S. A little bit about me and our channel is we have been using tractors for, let's say, maybe the last 7 years. We don't come from a farming background, but since we've had the property, we've had a Massey Ferguson, a John Deere 1025, 2032, 4052, and now the Solis tractor. So I feel like we know a little bit about compact tractors now to be able to give you an honest opinion here. Speaking of that, we were given this tractor from Solis Tractors to test out, and we have a 2-year agreement with them that we will make videos of this tractor, their attachments, and other things coming over the course of 2 years, and hopefully longer than that. So we love making content. We love doing work on the property. And so having a different set of tools to do that has been fantastic. So enough about that. If you've seen like our first impressions video, we talked a lot about the standard features on the Solis tractor. So I'm going to talk about things that I like and a few things that I don't like so much. But overall, I've been quite pleased. We've got about, I want to say, somewhere between 50 and 51 hours right now, and a number of different use cases that we've used with this. A lot with the loader, forks, bucket. I've got a stump bucket and a firewood bucket that I haven't used yet, but will be using soon. We've got a grooming mower, a tiller, a flail mower, a number of different things that we've added to the stock tractor. But before we get into what we've added, the stock tractor itself comes with some really nice extra features. We got a front tow hook. It is an SSQA loader, which I hadn't had before because my other loaders were John Deere. It's metal hood. It's got a lot of really great components underneath the hood that are quite impressive. Projector lights. Nice premium seat that's adjustable in a number of ways. It is a hydrostatic transmission, but they also sell a shuttle shift and a gear version. So 2 geared versions, the standard and the shuttle shift. Removable loader, which I just did the other day for the first time. Very nice, relatively easy to do. Integrated joystick. 7-pin connector on the back. We have step rails on both sides, which is quite nice. The tire package on here is an R4, but you have options to use or to buy others from Solis. Let me see here what else. Standard on the back, there is a drawbar, a swing bar. Let's see, I think that's the bulk of the standard features. It does have cruise control, which is really nice. So this tractor is one of the lower priced tractors, but I would like to say it's a value tractor because there's a tremendous amount of standard features and value packed into this tractor for the price. So far, I've really liked it. I've really liked the quietness of the Mitsubishi 3L engine. It's tractor season. Let's start this baby up. You hear that? That's the Mitsubishi S3 L2. Sounds really good. Let's bring it up in RPMs. That sounds great. I really like the SSQA, kind of better than I like the John Deere one. It works great. I like it. I like the compatibility, the nature that I can get any attachment that's SSQA and put it on there. Like my forks over here I bought from a skid steer company called Biggie Inc. in Sabina, Ohio. Overall, the power has been good. Now, coming from a 2032R, it's a 32 versus a 24. The horsepower capacity, obviously there's a difference I see sometimes, like if I'm grading the driveway coming uphill with a box blade full of gravel. I've seen a little bit of difference in power there, but the same issue I had when I used my smaller Massey Ferguson. So it's not a knock, it's just a difference in horsepower. It still gets the job done. Overall, the lift capacity has been adequate for what I use it for. I think a couple things on these tractors is the lift capacity is relative to the safety of the tractor and the weight and that sort of thing. So I do have a ballast box that I use generally anytime I'm using the forks, especially if it's going to be something heavy. I haven't had anything that I can't lift, but I also have the awareness of what a tractor this size can handle because I've used the other ones in the past. I'm not a fan of pushing it beyond its limits. I'm on a lot of hills here. One thing on a tractor this size, just realize there's limits to your lift capacity, but it hasn't been a limiting factor for me so far. Size-wise, the maneuverability is great. From an attachment perspective, Solis has sent me all 5-foot attachments for this tractor, and they've all worked fine, no problems. The tiller is quite large, but I haven't had an issue with that. So, overall, this tractor is quite stout. They boast one of the heaviest tractors in the class. So I think the only way that you're really going to get heavier than this tractor is if you add, weight to the tires. This tractor does have a mid PTO to run a mid-mount mower. However, I have not received one of those, so I can't tell you how that works. But what I can tell you is the grooming mower and the way that it works on the hills here has been a game changer. So didn't realize how well a grooming mower would work on all of my hills. And there's a float function that allows me to mow and not top things, not scalp things like I do with my 72-inch belly mower on the John Deere. So that was a big lesson to me that I wouldn't know otherwise. And I'm really quite happy with the grooming mower situation on this tractor. Works for everything I need it to do. Actually gives me a little more access on some hills and things I need to mow closer to. It's just a little bit different because of your spatial awareness when it's behind you versus the belly. So that's not a showstopper or a deal breaker for me for sure. And so let me talk about a couple things that there's a couple more minor things that I really like on here. The adjustability of the turnbuckles on the 3-point are quite nice. And so they're different on the John Deere that I have. I don't have telescoping on either one of them. So that design that they have here is just better. And I like that. Another thing is the 4-wheel drive on and off on this tractor. Down is on, which I like because if I were to bump it when it's up and it's down and I'm on these hills, it could be very dangerous. On my 2032R, when it's up, it's on, and when it's down, it's off. And I can tell you I've had a couple scary situations where the 4-wheel drive was off and I didn't realize it until it was too late. So that can really create some challenges on the hills. Not so much on flat land, but on the hills it does. So I do really like that aspect of it. Now, a couple things that I'm not thrilled about. I don't love this gas cap, and this is minor, but the size of the opening. I don't like messing with the gas cans, and this has like a small spout, like as if you were to use a gas nozzle or a funnel. And I spill some here versus on the John Deere 2032R, it's about yay big. So that's a design request that I'll put into Solis because I think it can be easier. It's not a big deal, and I'm sure a lot of tractors are outfitted this way, and that's probably standard, but it's not my preference. The other thing that I'll point out on the 3-point on the back is just the overall height at which you can take your attachments. So that's an issue for all tractors this size, not just the Solis. So what I've done to try to address that is I've got my linkages turned up as high as I can to make sure I get as much clearance as possible. So the further your attachments hang off the back, the less space you're going to have. Now, one way that I've improved that is using the hydraulic top link. I can pull the attachments in and get some extra tilt on them, so when I'm traveling or moving around or traversing hills and things like that, it hasn't been a major issue. And again, that's just something for a tractor of this size. Not a deal breaker, something to be aware of. So in terms of maintenance, I'm about to do my 50-hour maintenance here in the next couple weeks. I will get all of the filters and everything that I need to do that, and I'll get those from a Solis dealer, order those in. The only real challenge I've had with the tractor is the joystick has come loose on me because I'm used to hitting my John Deere one to bounce the bucket to shake dirt out. And the hydraulics on this are, I would say, tighter. There's no bounce in the bucket. When you hit that, it lowers, but it doesn't bounce. And so that motion of me doing that has caused a little set screw in there to come loose twice. Now I can pull it back and tighten it. I've also taken the boot off and tightened it. I don't think that's a design flaw. If you're new to using a tractor, you probably would never even run into that, but because of the motion that I used on my John Deere, it's happened to me here. So other than that, the only other thing that I think could be improved on here is make the steering wheel a tilt steering wheel. That's probably a future feature they're going to add. Not a big deal. I'm jumping all over the place and I apologize, but I'm just going through the different things in my head as I think back to what I like about this. The rear remotes have allowed me to put that top link on with no additional cost to get the remotes set up. I'm planning on putting a diverter on there to go from 2 remotes, or one single remote, to a double remote, so that I can possibly run a grapple, unless I get the kit from Solis to do the 3rd function. But more importantly, I might be able to use my ditch flail where I'm going to need 2 functions there. So on those diverters, you can only use 1 function at a time, so I'll have to extend my arm, flip the diverter, and then set my angle, that sort of thing. Not a huge deal, and I'm interested in just checking it out to see how it works anyway. All right, I've probably gone on quite a bit. Let me talk a little bit about the attachments. The grooming mower has been great. The tiller I've only used for a very short period of time, and it worked great as well. I'm planning on using it to create a motorcycle track for us back on the back part of the property. So turning up some of that grass to get it into a nice loose format. I have the Flail mower, which I really like the Flail mower. I've got that offset ditch, but it's cumbersome on a tractor this size, and we'll see how it works when I actually am able to run it here with the remotes. But the Flail has been great. Overall, I would say if you're in the market, give Solis a look. If they're in the area that you're in, they're expanding all the time, so be sure to check out solistractorusa.com. Look at their dealer network to see where they are, and I think that they're worth consideration for sure. So hopefully we'll get another tractor from them here in the not too distant future, something a little larger, and be able to talk about the pros and cons of that. So hoping for something bigger than 32 horse so that I can get some better lift capacity than anything I've had before, tackle some bigger projects. But bigger tractors require bigger attachments, so there's pros and cons to all of that. Other things that you might consider adding in, I've got a saw haul, which also converts to the bucket haul. That's been a really cool add-on. I've got a Titan quick hitch, which has worked out well for me. I've had to adjust it a little bit more than I have one of my other quick hitches on the other tractor, but I think that comes with just the variation in the different attachments. I'm using some from County Line. I've got the box scraper. I did a big project in the woods cleaning up a trail with the County Line box scraper, the County Line bush hog. So, you know, everything has just caused a little bit of adjustment on that Titan quick hitch. The Spare Parts Holland Top Link has probably been the most useful add-on that I've added. I recently put this holster with my extinguisher on it, so when I'm on the back 80, I don't have to worry about a possible fire while I'm brush hogging or something. You know, we've got acres and acres of woods here. Would hate to lose that to a fire, and it would just take too long to get back up here to put it out. So hopefully something like that would squelch the fire and keep us out of trouble. We also have the PTO Link system, which is something that allows us to hook up our PTO attachments much more quickly and easily. This is going to slide onto the PTO shaft on the back of your tractor and lock in. This is going to connect to your implement PTO shaft here. And then as you bring the implement to the tractor, slides in, turns, this pin holds it in place, and then there's an extra pin to secure it. And they're great. They work great on this tractor. So I think I've covered everything. I've probably gone longer than I intended to. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching our channel. And we'll have a lot of additional content coming over the next 6 months. Things have been crazy busy here. So thanks for sticking with us. And if you're not already subscribed, please hit that like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.